Hey, namaste, beautiful goddesses. Welcome, welcome, bliss babes. Welcome, wise women. How are you? So, I've got my very short fro that a friend of mine actually from graduate school was telling me. She's like, no, you should like do your hair out.
A friend of mine
Whoops.
actually from
Hold
graduate
on.
school was telling
Uh-oh.
me,
Let's see.
she's like, no, you should.
Sorry for that feedback, guys. Hold on. Let me mute myself on. There we go. So welcome. So yeah, this is the look with the glasses, which need to be cleaned, I see, or without. Now without, I can't really read your questions well. So how are you guys today? Say hi in the chat as usual. Just a nice way to start our live. I am going to be doing lives, I think, through the end of this month. So all through May on Sunday, okay? I'm just cleaning off my filthy glasses here. I worked out today, and I think that was part of it. I don't know. I never understood how glasses get dirty so fast. Okay, so say hi. Say hi to each other in the chat. So yeah, every Sunday through May, and then I will continue them after that, but I'm not sure if it'll be like the second Sunday or whatever. So yeah, what do you think of my growing fro? I like it. My friend's like, no, it'll be good. The way the gray is. I'm like, all right, yeah, I've been thinking about it. So I'm going to put my glasses on because I do want to see your comment. Namaste, namaste. And I know it's Mother's Day, right? I'm doing live on Mother's Day, but I have a great topic for us. I do. So get a cup of tea. I have here my chamomile. So yeah, feel free. Like, listen to me. If you're busy, you could have me in the background. I won't mind. That's okay. I'm still setting up my light, which is super, super bright. So happy Mother's Day. How is it going? Share that in the chat as well. In fact, let me get to my chat, you guys. Okay. It says private chat, but I don't think it's private. What does that mean? Okay, comments. Comments. Hello. That's weird. The first hello, I don't see a name. I just see the face, but there's no. Oh, okay. I didn't know you could do that on YouTube, Goddess. You have your picture and then you just have emojis. I literally thought you had to have like a name. Hi, PC. Hi, Raylyn. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. The person with no name, but very pretty emojis says, I love your hair and the gray. Let's see. Hi, Danielle. Oh my gosh. So yeah, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Now I'm going to talk about some stuff, can get deep, but I know you'll feel good afterwards. So just thank you for being here. Say hi to each other in the chat, really. So those of you watching on the replay, I will put timestamps, okay? So if you watched up to this point and you're watching in the future, click below and I'll put timestamps about what we talked about, all right? But you're not here live, which is much better. Okay, well, hold on. I gotta get a little bit of my bookcase. So what's my topic? You deserve your dreams. We deserve our dreams. But I put we deserve our dreams, goddess. Okay. And then what came to me right before, and this is actually really beautiful, was our mother's legacy. So that's what I want to talk about with you is we deserve our dreams and the legacy of our mothers. Okay. The legacy of our mothers. Just thinking of the divine feminine, like what was our first interaction with the feminine, right? In this life, like in life, was our mothers, right? Give me a yes if you get what I'm saying. So that's the first patterning of what feminine is, was our mom, right? That was it. That was probably the very first face you saw, maybe the doctor, I don't know. You didn't remember his or her face, Mom was important, right? Hello, if you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. Happy Mother's Day. Let me just say hi to a few more folks. Yes. Good. Yeah, just say hi to each other. Yeah, Danielle, PC. I'm so glad you're all here. So I will be doing lives every Sunday through at least May. And then I'll see. So yes, my fro. You guys know usually I had it wrapped because it was very short. So my hair Thank God it's still growing, fairly fast, and it's certainly thick. Okay. So, lives, I'll just talk about different topics. All right. That's what's fun about being here live. So I hope you're with me on that. You learn more about me and I learn more about you. And it's unscripted. So on that note, I want to share when I was young, and I think I had done locks for the first time. Okay. And I remember an older woman at the time, she was in her 40s and I was like 20 something. And for some reason, I was complaining about how thick my hair was, and I hadn't even heard of this thing called thinning, like to actually get your hair thin, like surgically, you guys. So anyway, this woman said to me very seriously, she goes, no, don't even think about. And I hadn't heard of it, but I was complaining about that my hair was too thick. So she's like, you don't thin your hair. And I'm like, well, what is that even, or whatever. She goes, you'll be so happy when you're older. She goes, you'll be so happy when you're older that your hair is really thick. And I just remember being like, whatever, because it wasn't a reality for me. So here I am now, and it is still really thick. So that's good, because we all know, which I didn't know in my 20s, right, that even as women, we can start like balding. Anyway, hi, Bliss Babes. Bliss Babes don't know what I'm talking about. Hi, wise women. You know what I'm talking about. All right, let me know if you are a Bliss Babe, which means someone 20s, maybe early 30s. You can call yourself a Bliss Babe, whatever. Or if you consider yourself a wise woman, meaning 40s, 50s. I would love to know, okay? And I just came up with this because I actually really like how Bliss Babe sounds. I like the word bliss. And wise women also, right? That's a stage of life. Hang on, guys. I'd like my camera to be higher, but I don't have a book close by. Hold on. Sorry. I know you're just seeing the side of my head. I'm thinking. Okay, hold on. Get my mindfulness yoga book and lift you guys up a little higher. So today, for those of you just joining, after you've said hi in the chat, we're just going to discuss, hopefully that's not too high, our mom's legacy and our dreams. So I really want us to sort of touch into what our dreams are. And if you're not able to now, right, you might have people over even. I don't know. We're all in completely different situations. Like I am not a mom. So I have no kids running around. I don't have any kids that that are going to call me or whatever. And that's absolutely fine. That's actually good. I consider as a teacher, that's how I put out my mothering energy. So give me a yes, or, if you get what I'm saying. So there are different ways to manifest that feminine energy. But as I said, our mom was our first patterning of the feminine. So what I want to talk about, I'm just going to overview it so is get a journal. This is I got this so cheap, and I really like it because it's a Mead journal. It's very simple. It's pink. You can't really see. Yeah, enjoy the little things. But it's got a lot of pages, and I just really, really like it. It's pretty tough. What we're going to talk about today is our mom's legacy. So her weakness, okay, just overviewing it now, her weakness and her gift. And that's what came to me right before I went live, you guys. It was like, oh, there's so much, right? We have a very tangled relationship with our mothers. So guys watching, they probably won't understand that. But women, we have a very, it's tangled, it's complex, right? With our moms. Give me a yes. Between Bliss Babe and Wise Woman. Okay. Danielle says she's between a Bliss Babe and a Wise Woman. Danielle, I cannot come up with a third name. Okay. It'll be too crazy. Like each video, I have to say all the names, right? Got Bliss Babes. You got to pick a side. Okay. You're going to be a Bliss Babe. You're going to be a Wise Woman. You can be a youthful Wise Woman, or you can be an older Bliss Babe, Babarella. So, hi, Healing Hands Tarot. Welcome to you. And unlike some YouTubers, I am happy for you. Your name shows in the chat. Maybe if folks go check her out, Healing Hands Tarot. I don't know her. But I see that, and I think that's beautiful. And Suzanne, yes. Relationship with our mom is very tangled. So I'm actually going to go get a picture of my mom. And I wish if this were Zoom, I would love to see a picture of your mom. But I have a picture of my mom really close by. And then we're going to think about, I'm going to do a really short meditation. And then we're going to think about our mom's weakness. Like, what is it that, I'm trying to say how to say this. You guys, sometimes I can be too blunt. I think I'm on the spectrum. I actually think I'm very mildly autistic. I know that sounds weird, but I think I am. What about our mom bothered us? Um, what was a negative about our mom? And then we're going to find her strength. And this only recently was I able to do this with my mom, because my mom did have a drinking problem. Um, and it was very, very difficult. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's weird to say that, but it's definitely my truth. She um, drank. I think she began drinking when she was very young, um, and hid it, right? A lot of women are able to hide their drinking better than men, especially back in the day, because you had to. So hang on, I want to get a picture of her. Yeah. So, and yeah, share about your mom. Share what you'd like to about your mom. So my mom's name, people called her Becky. Her name was Rebecca. So here's a picture of her. Aw, look at her skinny little legs and her purse. Tell me in the comments, you guys, especially if you're in your 40s, 50s, you have a picture of your mom where she had her little bag, right? I told you I was going to ramble, but this is just chatting. Where she had her little handbag over her arm and she had her ankles crossed in her picture. Give me a yes if you had that picture from your mom, right? So mom doesn't have, she's not doing the lady sit right there. Can you see it? But she's got her little, oh gosh, what are those cat's eye glasses? She's got her cat's eye glasses. She's got her little sweater and she has her handbag because, a lady had a handbag and you had to hold it in your hand or you kind of put it over your arm. What a pain in the ass, right? What a pain in the butt that was. So there she is. I think she's in Canada in this picture. So let's do a little centering. Yeah, let's do a little centering. Suzanne says, I'm 37. I don't know what I am. You can either be a bliss babe or a wise woman. You're a little young for a wise woman. Yeah, you know. So let's do a little centering, you guys. And I apologize also, your chat comes in like half a minute later because I'm using StreamYard, which is that funny duck up in the right corner. Because it can keep it can have my website there and it just does other semi-fancy things. So let's do a little centering and then we're just going to get into the thing with our mom's legacy and our dreams. So take a deep breath in and out. If you're just joining us, we're just going to do a really brief meditation, just a centering, I would call it. Happy Mother's Day. Whether you are a mother or not, you have that nurturing energy and it expresses in some way, okay? So just lower your eyes for a moment if you can. Okay, if you're driving, do not lower your eyes or doing anything. You're in the supermarket listening on your phone or something. So just relax as you exhale. Deep breath in through the nose, breathe out through your mouth. Soft breath. Round the lips and just blow the breath out. Really has a profound effect, okay? Inhale again. Exaggerate it. Take more air. Now blow it out through the mouth. And as you sat up really tall, you're going to stay sitting nice and tall. Okay, let's do one more. Inhale. Long, 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 long breath. Now through the mouth. Slow, slow. You're still exhaling, exhaling. Nice. Bring your palms together. This just brings the left and right hemispheres of the brain together. Touch your thumbs to your heart chakra. Your eyes can be slightly open. Namaste, Goddess. The divine within me honors that within you, right? So what was our mom's legacy? What was your mom's weakness? I guess I've already shared, with my mom and actually with my dad. And I think it's important to share the negative. You don't have to write it here, but just to be aware of it. Like, what was her weakness? Get your journal and just even a couple sentences, right? what was a weakness of your mom? And the reason for this too is we might, it's lineage, right? It's heritage. So we might have also taken some of that particular trait. Okay. If you'd like to share in the comments, you can. You can. We don't, it's not like, we don't know your mom or she may have passed on. In fact, I would say your mom's weakness could very well be the very strength. So we'll see when we talk about it. We'll see when we talk about it. I'm going to have a little sip of my chamomile tea. So it's a rainy day here, you guys, but the trees are out. So they're that beautiful light green and the leaves are wet. So they're very like shiny and the dandelions are out. But it's gray. It's gray, but spring is here. So what was your mom's weakness? And share if it was something, was she overly dominant with you? Was she very strict with you? Was she, everybody's talking about narcissism. Like you guys, narcissism, it's like people have discovered this word. Was she narcissistic? Again, just a negative, just to be aware of it. And later on, you can sort of think about it and let it sort of permeate your consciousness and just to see it, because I think it's important to state it. Okay. Hi, Tangela. Hi, Janae. Welcome. Healing Hands Tarot is here. Check out her channel. I don't know her. I'm just giving her a shout out. Danielle Webb, PC. Beautiful goddess with just hearts and roses. She has no name. She's just going by symbols here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Very strict. Yeah, very strict. Right. But you know what? I want to do this. Let's do this. Okay. So share the weakness, share the negative, but I want you to also, now this isn't going to be her greatest strength, but can you flip how her weakness was actually a plus? So very strict, I would say. My mom, you guys, so again, Jamaican. I know I don't have an accent. I'm sorry. I don't. I can do it, but I do it really badly. So I don't want you to laugh. Okay. And any Jamaicans out there will be like, oh, please. Oh, please. So, but my mom was very strict. Mom and dad, extremely strict. The benefit of that was I did not, and I know people are going to take this the wrong way, but I grew up in the South Bronx. And when I was in junior high, I've said this before, a lot of girls came back pregnant. There was no way in hell was that going to happen because mom and dad were very strict. Okay. So right now, I want you to write in the weakness, but I want you to then just say and share, put a slash. What was the positive of that? So a too strict mother, because she was so strict, the positive was, what was it? Yeah, I grew up in a neighborhood where there were gangs. And, I just knew that, like my father would have just like killed me. He actually told my brother, this was so great. Welcome if you're joining us. He's like, I brought you into the world and I can take you out. And my dad, I've said this, back in the day, he was kind of a bit of, again, I don't know what we call it in with like the Jamaican, but he was kind of a bad, like you just didn't mess with my dad. He was known to have a bad temper and to be like a bad, whatever, MF. I could not curse. I did not utter a curse word till I was probably about 17 or 18. Okay, that was not allowed. That was not allowed. Like I said, dad was a dude, especially in his youth, just known you don't mess with him because it's just not going to go well for you. So yeah, let's do some of the positive. Her positive was that she was exceptionally kind. Yes, she was exceptionally kind. Gosh, it's moving fast, giving and gentle. Okay, yeah, well, we're going to do the greatest gift. What I wanted to do, let me just be clear. The weakness, I want you to take the weakness though, and even though it seemed negative or her negative, find the benefit in that very weakness. That's our first thing. Okay, so like I said, with my mom, with the parents being so strict, it kept me from, becoming pregnant very, very young. I mean, we're talking junior high. So what is that? 13, 14 girls. I remember several girls came back, like, I guess from the summer pregnant. That, my parents would have probably just like executed me. Like, we're done. That was the fear because they were so strict. So the benefit of the so strict was it just kept me in line. It kept me going to school. It kept me from some of the other things that were going down in my neighborhood. And I just was like, I'm not going to be a part of that. And I'm sure a lot of you, a lot of the goddesses in the audience, if you're watching me, you probably had that. You might have had that very strict as well, or at least parents who were sort of really, kept you gated, like, you don't do this. All right, so let's read some of the negatives. And then, like I said, you could put a slash and put what was the positive you can now see as an adult woman that your mom gave you. Okay, but we're not doing her greatest gift yet. Okay. Oh, I have learned that. Oh my gosh, it's going so fast. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, yeah, very strict. Healing is knowing. She gave up her freedom at 17 to stay within. Oh, yeah. Now, so she gave it up to help raise you, Suzanne? I won't read the whole comment, but is it that she gave up that freedom, as you say, was it to be a mom to you? Yeah. Oh, it's a very new channel. Okay, well, folks are going to go over Healing Hands Tarot. You better have at least 2 videos up over there. She had no freedom. As she had no freedom, she denied mine. Yeah, yeah. It's important again to see this, but remember, we're gonna shift this around, okay? Because I have to share with you guys, my channel, I had videos on trauma and the chakras, but I'm moving away from the trauma mentality, or the trauma stance. I think it's been a couple of years, and my energy resonates with healing, not focusing on the trauma. So you're going to notice that with the channel, okay? So be aware of that. We're going in that direction. Light workers go through the most to heal others. Exactly. Yeah, very much. Very, very much. Thank you for sharing that. Her positive was that she was exceptionally kind. Yeah, giving and gentle. I will check out your channel, Healing Hands. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, check her out. Was a narc, but I worked on my childhood trauma and now I forgive her. That's awesome. Yeah. So, well, Tangela, can you share what, obviously there were many negatives then, but what was her main weakness? Because I think it's important, again, for everyone here, we often take our mom's weakness. Okay, we do. So that's why I said I was going a bit deep. We often do take on that weakness inadvertently. Obviously not deliberately. We're not doing it deliberately. So just be aware of that. Let me read some more comments. Okay. Suzanne, I read your comment. Yeah, I am okay. Yes, healing. Hi, Shay Girl. Welcome, Shay Girl. It's good to see you. So I just want to call out everybody who's here. Well, maybe not everybody. Shay Girl, Healing Hands Tarot. Check out her channel. Suzanne DS. Who else? Oh gosh, because there's 19 folks here right now. 19 goddesses. Tangela, hello, Danielle, PC. So yeah, I just heal that aspect of myself, right? Yeah, I have to, here, I'm going to put this out. Yeah, you guys, that's why I like this app. I can highlight your comments. So sexuality was considered a sin. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's just go with that one for all of us from our moms, right? Of our mom's legacy. So yes, sexuality coming from a religion, religion told them that. And then, yeah, it had to be put in the dark. Exactly. So God forbid your daughter did get pregnant when she was young, or right. Everything was so hidden that it was just a mess. It was just a mess. So thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And then that's why so many of us, especially Black women, right? Why do we have so many problems with fibroids? I do believe in addition to diet, there's other issues, but there's definitely an emotional and an energetic issue for us as Black women. Dealing with different ideas and negatives against us as women, our sexuality, the way the culture and historically, with slavery and how that impacted our minds, our bodies, And so everything, right? And then on top of that, religion, which very much for all women was like, you were called a name. I'm watching a series now, you guys. It's set in like the 1700s, and women were, you either were like a lady, literally, you were like a lady, they call it, or you were a whore, and then anything could be done to you. Like literally, oh, so you had no husband, or they thought you were promiscuous, you could be raped because you weren't like this lady. They were only two choices. There was no middle ground. So yeah, that is a weakness that we inherited from our moms, and forgive our moms because they were just enforcing. Like, think about it. I feel like our moms, on some level, of course, our dad is often the enforcer, but moms enforce they're trying to shape their daughter. They're trying to mold their daughter, right, into what's right for that society. So they're just passing on what they heard, what they saw, what the preacher said, what the priest said, whatever, So we do know we have to forgive them. Yeah, we have to forgive them. Yeah. So she projected a lot. Oh, I love the image that I don't want to stick my face really close to the camera to just see your picture, but that's really pretty. The picture is really pretty. Mom had me when she was 15. Yeah, yeah. A lot of us, our moms had us when they were young, and that's not necessarily bad. Again, it's cultural. Some cultures, and historically, you would be having babies at 15 or 16, right? So then it depends on the culture. And if we're talking about our moms or grandmoms, that's kind of young, and there might have been different issues with that. But let's go on. But just be aware, a lot of times we have our mom's weakness. Like, I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm going to think of one of my mom's weaknesses. One of her main weaknesses, which tied in with her alcoholism, and this is pretty sad, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. She never felt loved. It was a big thing with my mother, you guys. So she would be very sad. Again, alcohol tends to make you feel sad, right? You're depressed, so you might drink, but then when you drink, you feel sadder. Like, that's the vicious circle that some of our folks, our family, didn't understand. So she'd get very sad, and she'd literally sit there, you guys, and just shake her head. She'd have her hand in her hair and like this, and she's like, nobody loves me. And I would say to her, oh, I love you, Mom. And she would literally be like, no, and I've shared this before, but imagine, she's like, no, nobody loves me, because it was within her. It didn't matter what you said. It didn't matter what you did. Right. So I feel like I do have some of that. So just check in with yourself, not while you're watching me, because I know that's hard to do right together, but think about, is there a weakness of your mom that you still, I know a lot of you are saying you healed, but is there something you're carrying, like a trace, it's almost like a stain. So yeah, the thing of feeling lovable. My mom, on some level, did not feel worthy of love. Welcome if you're just joining us. She didn't feel worthy of love. And she'd express that. She'd express it in the way she could, which was, nobody loves me. And it didn't matter, Now, my dad wasn't a very loving man, but think about it. If you don't think you're lovable, who are you going to marry? You're going to marry someone who isn't loving, right? You guys see that, right? Like, isn't that deep? It's so obvious. If you believe you're not worthy of love, you're going to marry someone who can't give love, because that's what you expect. That's who you're going to be like, oh yeah, he's perfect. It's so deep, but it's also so obvious as I'm getting older, and the whole wise woman thing. You can just see these patterns. Let me know if you can see these patterns. Just write patterns. You can just really see them, because you guys, we just repeat the patterns unless we break them. And I know if you're watching this, you're actively involved in your healing, and you look within. So I'm going to read some comments, and I might pop some up. Let's see. Yep. Just real quick, I'll pop this one up. Yeah, her mom taught her to be ashamed of her sexuality through religion. Exactly. And even people who to this day are very religious, they know that's true. That was part of religion's function. What was the function of religion is to also keep society together. That is part of it. And so they wanted, especially to regulate, of course, it was regulate women's sexuality very much. always so interesting, and again, so obvious that the male sexuality isn't so hemmed in, right? It was the girls, and what did you allow to happen? What did you do? You're this because you had sex, right? Nobody, generally calls a guy, he doesn't get called anything bad. Yeah, I see the patterns. Yes, I'm going to leave that up. You see the patterns every day. It's important. If you see it, you can change it. If you see it, you can change it. I'm gonna hit the bell on that. If you can see it, you can change it. Now we're going to go to our mom's greatest gift. Not just, and someone shared beautifully before, very kind. My mom was also very kind. Very like a soft heart, very soft hearted, like suffering, she'd be the type, she could get crying, she could get sad if she saw something sad on television. So her heart was very, very compassionate, very kind. So what was your mom's greatest gift though? Not just, oh yeah, she baked really well. Or she cooked really well. But what was her greatest gift? And I'm going to give you a minute and I'll share my mom's greatest gift that I've now seen. And I'm being real with you. I literally didn't see this till maybe 2-3 years ago because her alcoholism was it was brutal for me, you guys. I was the one in the family who acknowledged it because, as we know, in families like narcotic families, alcoholic families, things are secret. But I was the one who tried to get her help. I basically forced my mother into rehab. Okay. That did not go super well. So getting her into rehab, pleading with her, just that whole dynamic of a drug or alcohol addicted family. I was really the one trying to undo it by myself. So that can be very difficult. Yeah. So Shay Girl shares, yes, Raylin, I know you're not supposed to acknowledge the problem. Well, that is part of that pattern, right, of the dysfunctional family, which, by the way, is most families. It's most families. You don't, if there's a problem, it's a secret. Everybody knows, like uncle, uncle whatever is just a falling down alcoholic, or that he does maybe worse, right? Maybe he has, like I'm hearing about families where somebody in the family who like molested a child. And it's just like, you just don't talk about it because you're trying to keep things. I don't know. That's just not me. That's just not my nature. That's just not my nature. Yeah. So yeah. God forbid you acknowledge the problem. Danielle says, I believe my mom probably felt a little unloved also. Oh, I think so. You guys, I think for our mothers, as we go through this Mother's Day, and even if she's alive, I think that for a lot of women, they, especially in the Black community, because of so many things we're dealing with, love may not have been expressed to our mothers on a regular basis, on the regular, right? So I think that is. Oh, yes, my family ignored molestation for generations. Exactly. Guys, I didn't even mean to get, so heavy, but whew, right? So we have a lot of healing. We have a lot of self-love to do. We have a lot of forgiving. To do. I'm trying to think if I do have a forgiveness meditation on here. Because the reason we need to do the forgiveness, and then we'll really talk about our mom's greatest gift. If we don't do the forgiveness, we tend to carry, it's like we're carrying this little knot where our energy is bound around this issue, like molestation, the alcoholism, physical abuse, all of that, right? So this is Mother's Day. We all know it's very commercial. Go buy your mom this, do that. Our society takes something real and then makes it this, like, friggin', a commercial. It makes it a commercial and it kind of tries to tug at you. What about those of us who our mothers have passed already, or our mothers were abusive? So Mother's Day doesn't acknowledge that. So I just want to acknowledge that here. Okay. I just want to acknowledge that here. I hope you don't mind. I'll put the, yeah. Yeah. So What was your mom's greatest gift? Let's start sharing that. And gift, I mean gift to you. And I'm going to share my mom's greatest gift. So here is Frances Rebecca Palmer. She used to be quite young there, right? Look at how thin she was, you guys. Look at her waist and her little legs. She always said she had skinny legs, which she doesn't. I have skinny legs too. Her greatest gift to me that I just discovered, I realized my mom was adventurous. So on the one hand, my mom presented herself as, especially she got older, very like martyr, because my dad was abusive. So she was like martyr, and she was helpless, and, in the drinking. But what I realized is in her youth, she immigrated from Jamaica, right, to Canada. Think about that. How how difficult that must have been to be basically like an uneducated woman from a family that you know just to take it upon yourself to move to a brand new country. We do this in Jamaica. Usually wipe our hands of it, but I don't know, brand new country that yes, you spoke English, because of course in the Caribbean, well, a lot of the Caribbean, we speak English because England was whatever, we're still in the Commonwealth, I believe, but I don't even know. I think the Queen thinks we're in the Commonwealth. We might still be. But for a young woman, uneducated, she didn't have a lot of skills to decide she's going to move to a foreign country for a better life. So that is my mom's gift, is that I realized she had a certain boldness, because who does that? She had never been on a plane, you guys. It's not like she was flying here, flying to France, flying to Antigua. She got on a plane, which up to that point she had never been on, and went to Canada, which she had never seen snow. She had never seen snow. She's in this country from a predominantly Black country, Jamaica. Of course, we have all different ethnicities, but majority, right? And then she's in Canada, completely different. The food, the weather, the temperature. I think the snow, like, really kind of, she didn't really love snow. Let's just put it that way. Good. So let's say here, Shay girls, positives here. Yeah. So can we look at that positive, goddesses, and realize you also have that positive, and you can expand on it. So I have always been kind of bold. I've always done things a little different than what my family would say. So did I get that from my mom? That her biggest, boldest thing was to move to another country. My aunt was in Canada, so she had that. But imagine how scary that would have been. Imagine how frightening that is, especially back in the day. You guys, this is like the beginning of air travel. Well, I don't mean like the 30s, but I mean ordinary people. And some of you Bliss Babes may not know this. Back in like the 60s and 70s, that was like the 60s, which is when did oh gosh, I don't even know the exact year. 60s even to 70s, people weren't flying commonly. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna go on a vacation, I'm gonna get on a plane. That was not that common for average people. So, here. So I'm gonna read some of I'm gonna put them up on the screen so folks can see them. Healing Hands Tarot said, she passed down the gift of empathy. She taught me to be spiritual. Yeah. I'm just going to leave that. I'm really going to let that soak in. Even though I don't know you, I'm just letting that soak in. If you can, as you're watching me and I pop things up on the screen, soak that in. Okay, here's another one. Danielle sharing. Yeah, she had patience and was a problem solver. Yeah. So like I said, I feel like my mom had some boldness. She had some chutzpah. I'm from New York, so occasionally I'll throw in a Yiddish term because that's just because I'm me. My mom worked for a Jewish family, and when she moved to America, and they were actually very kind to me. So that when I was growing up in Maryland, my mom was a housekeeper. So she went from Canada, and I think her ultimate goal was to get to America. Okay, and this was before all of this ugliness about immigration that we're going through right now. Okay, welcome if you're just joining. This country is built on immigrants. And, my mom immigrated and worked all her life. So, and worked very, very hard. So, yes, her gift was her boldness. She was also very kind and very compassionate to others suffering. She didn't so much honor her own suffering, which is interesting. I'm sure some of you who've written in, you understand that, like you see that, where like my mom would be so, so kind to other people, but she wasn't really able to take that kindness, that to self-love. She didn't have the self-love, as I mentioned. So that's something we all have to overcome. I'm just popping things up on the screen here. So Tanjila says, my mother's greatest gift to me was the love of teaching. Even though she didn't graduate, she dedicated her love for decorating and gardening. Okay, okay. Yeah, my mom was not a big decorator. We spent most of our time in New York City, so there was no gardening. Okay. Yeah, but that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Let's see. Anybody else want to share their mom's greatest gift, which is what we're doing here, and her legacy? This is her legacy to us. And then I still want to go on to you deserve your dreams, because our mothers, this is how I want to tie it together. All of our mothers, bless them, they had dreams. All of our mothers had dreams. Are you in some way the light to bring a dream forward? It doesn't have to be her dream. Okay, like we've all heard about stage mothers, right? Like they wanted to be an actress and they couldn't, so they got their daughter and they like just drove her, right, to try to become famous or musician or whatever. So it doesn't have to be like that. But is there a dream? What is your dream? And I'd love for you to share that. I'd love for you to share that. And that's how I want to wrap the show up is, what is your dream? Because I feel that for us, we are not going after our dreams. I see a lot of the women that I see in my community or that I ultimately may work with, we have a lot of fear around living our dream. So what is your dream? Oh, this is great. I'm popping that up. Hey, Shay girl. I became a teacher because that was her dream. She was discouraged from going to college. Yeah. Yeah. My parents did not have an option to go to college. In Jamaica at the time, it just wasn't a thing. In the countryside, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, are you going to go to college? It was like, do you need to make money? And so they thought very more short term. Which is something I still see in our communities. Not that everybody needs to go to college, but in fact, I think for many of us, it's good to do like a trade. Like you guys, you know how much plumbers make? Like I think a lot of, I've met students where I'm like, you should really do a trade. There's nothing wrong with doing a trade. Um, you can make a lot and be very happy. Like there are a lot of people a lot of guys especially who like working outdoors. But in our world now, we tend to look at office work as superior and anything physical as inferior, right? When in fact, you might make a lot of money doing certain jobs that are physical, right? I'm just saying, just throwing out some thoughts there. So let's talk about what are our dreams. That's what I want to end on that note. Creating my own life and disregard others' comments. Hi, Suzanne. Yeah, they do not have your life. So this is where I want to step up and just sort of urge you on. Other people will come and go, they'll live and die, and they have their own life. So what they could do is live their own life and leave your life alone, right? They have their own life. So why are they commenting on your life? They should. It's like all of us are in our own individual car. They should drive their own car. Why are they trying to tell you how to drive your car? Sorry, I love analogies. So Suzanne, share more. What do you want? I bring this up again from Scandal. That's why I love, right from the beginning, I resonated with that show from the beginning. What do you want is the first step of manifesting. So what do you want, goddesses? Think of your mother's legacy and the gift she gave to you. Okay, we're going to go for a few more minutes. What do you want? Healing Hands Tarot, Tanjila, Raylyn, Danielle. And this is only the people who have been bold enough to share in the comments. What do you want? I notice some folks have dropped off because I'm getting to the hard part now. So if you're still here, you're very brave. What do you want? Yes, Suzanne. But what kind of business? What kind of business? What kind of business do you want to create? And Suzanne, I know you can do it. I know you can. You have it within you. If you have the dream, if you have the desire, there's a reason you have that desire. It was put in you to express on this earth right now. Welcome if you're just joining us. Welcome and happy Mother's Day. We're towards the tail end of our session, but we're sharing what our dreams are. Put them in writing, write them down, share them. Only share them with positive people. Do not share your dreams with family or friends who are negative. I'm going to say it again. Do not share your dreams with family or friends. I don't care that they're family and friends. We all know that some people have a very low vision. They just have a low vision and they can't see where you can go. They can't see your heights. They can't see your spirit, how great your spirit is. Yeah. Reiki indeed. Okay, let me go back up. There's a little conversation going on here. Okay. My dream is to become the first healer and business owner in my family. Yes, yes, absolutely. The first healer, though, Tangela, I doubt you're the first healer in all of our lineages. And I'm getting into shamanism. As you guys know, my drum is right back there. You can see it. My beater's up on the shelf. There were healers in all of our lineages. So Tangela, I don't want you to say the first healer because you have a heritage. And I don't even mean any specific ethnicity. I mean, if you think about it, if you think like, where did we start from, right? Your great, 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 somewhere in there, there was a healer. There just was. She was an herbalist. She helped deliver babies. She could mend bones, right? So you all have that. So you are now in the line of healers in your family. And you could say maybe the first business owner, but even that, I bet you, we had people who would go to market with their produce, with their vegetables. You had, landowners, farm owners. It's all in your lineage. It's absolutely there. Yeah. I want to finish creating. Here, let me do this. Let's put them up. And we're sending you energy. Let's all just send energy to each other's dream here. So if you're just joining us, we're energizing your dream. So let's do that. All right. Just send energy and positive feeling to each woman that we put up here. I want to finish creating a new mental map for myself, one full of true self-love and acceptance. I think from there, all things will flow. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you have a beautiful smile, absolutely beautiful smile, and like flawless skin. So I'm just saying, you will finish creating a new mental map. Yeah, this is the paradigms. Maybe I'll talk more about that in the next Sunday. But we do need to create a kind of a global picture for ourselves. I think in some ways, though, it's easiest to start with like, what do you want? Okay, so let's get some more up there. So thank you for sharing that. What do you want? Healing Hands Tower just says Reiki, healing earth and people. Let's see. Let me, oop. The men were the business owners. Yes, Tangela, but that's as far as you know. Okay, again, this gets me with my ancestors videos a lot. I'm not just talking to Tangela here. When people say ancestors, they're like thinking of like their great grandfather, which is not far back, or they're even their grandfather. Open your minds, go way back. I'm sure there was a woman business owner, for example, in the lineage, because you have to. When I picture a lineage, I picture like two lines going back, but then branching off of those lines, off of your mother's line, right? And off of your father's line. It's just endless. It's innumerable. So yeah, in your recent family that you know of, it was the men that were the business owners. But depending which line you'd want to trace, I'm sure there were women who traded, or who, for example, just an obvious example, who may have done crafts and sold them, right? Who may have made clothing or crafts or just items and sold them. I'm sure there was in our lineage. Okay, my phone was ringing. So yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Let's see, let's bring this one up. Inspiring. Oh, good. Thank you, Danielle. So I want to keep going though on what are our dreams. Let's continue on for next week. My advice before I close is set aside at least 2 hours where you can just think. Um, and I don't mean like just sitting there thinking, but just where you can have your journal, put on some incense, have a cup of tea, or even like a glass of wine, whatever, just really relaxed and just write, be honest with yourself about what your dreams are. So I want to share with you one of my dreams. I am learning a language. And as you know, I've talked about van life. I've always had a nomadic thing. Um, so what I want to say is I'm torn between being nomadic in the US because of the way the things are in the US right now. Um, Even just the feeling that I have, it just feels less, it's just a difficult time I feel in the US, and I don't know that I want to be traveling around necessarily. I may, but I've also, I have another dream also of being abroad part of the time. So I'm teaching myself a language and getting clearer on my dreams. So I hope you are too, because 2020 kicked our butts and we need this year to re-empower ourselves, goddess. We need to re-empower ourselves, okay? I'm going to put up, whoops, I meant to show, hold on, I want to show this comment. Yes, great. Thank you, Danielle. So, oh, Shay Girl, I want to read your thing. Create my own nonprofit that serves art. Oh, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. My background is in art. So Shay Girl, start, and you probably do, maybe you do, just quick advice. Start it, maybe work with a nonprofit that exists already and work with them. I feel like, yeah, work with them just so you're doing it. What you want to do, goddesses, is activate the dream now. So for me, I want to live in this country part of the year, so I'm learning the language. Learning the language just means I got to get a couple books. So how can you, as I close this, how can you activate your dream now? What can you do, even if it's a little thing, like say you wanted to start a business? What's the smallest thing you can do to take that first step? What's the smallest thing you can do to take that first step in your dream? Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. So let's be here again next Sunday, and we'll continue on with this sort of line of thinking. Of course, it won't be Mother's Day, so we won't do the mother's legacy, but you have your mother's gifts, okay? You have that within you, goddess. So I like to close with a little bit meditative, all right? Because when you go into a deeper place, that's where the more profound healing is. So you have the gift that you identified in your mother. You have within you. That's something she gave you. Take a few deep breaths with me as we close. So your mother and her beautiful spirit, whether she's still here with us in form or whether she has transitioned, she's still with you. And we can draw from her gifts, from her strengths. They are handed down to us. They are within you. Her strengths are within you. And you also, goddess, can transform and do transform any weakness by seeing them, by acknowledging them. You can transform them. You can heal them. This is something we're all capable of. I do want to say I am offering energy healings. I almost forgot. I'm offering energy healings. And if you go to my website, intheflowofmagic.com, I am offering them. And what they are is I do a chakra energy healing session with you. This ability has been coming forward in different, I won't go into how I'm realizing it, but over the decades of spiritual practice, it's been there. So I've coalesced it into this chakra energy healing, and it includes a divination aspect to your question, to the issue that you're working with, that you're healing. So I give you a divination response to that, as well as doing an energy healing. And it takes about 45 minutes. So if you're interested in that, go to intheflowofmagic.com, which is my website. And you know that I truly believe we can live our lives in the flow of magic. So thank you so, so much. It was great to be live, and it was really beautiful to share with you, about your mom and that lineage, that feminine lineage that you come from. So I'm putting out videos Thursdays and Sundays and some Tuesdays. Mwah. Stay blessed and blessed. Bye-bye.